So okay, look, my point simply being in that set, right, my thinking is like the first thing is
Really happen de tontong kanya bad.
just
Letting you know.
Say it. Okay, so right now we're in this like cancel culture situation, right? And then like what's
too real.
appropriate and what's inappropriate. And then people have got really loud opinions and really big opinions about what's appropriate.
Everybody's trying to shove it down each other's throats.
Everybody, like, all this cancel
Take
culture
this.
has you like, oh,
Big opinion.
this is appropriate, this is not appropriate. But like, where is, like, what is the standard?
What's the middle
Like, there
ground?
has to be like a bare minimum measure of what's appropriate and what's inappropriate, right?
but that's a bit difficult to do because
Yeah.
first of all, what's appropriate and what's inappropriate
Exactly.
differs from
Because that's
region
also
to region,
subject.
Yeah.
culture to culture.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I was gonna say it's
Okay,
subject
no.
to culture.
No. So we can put all this subject to culture and all of that into perspective.
Yeah.
But in the same light, we all know that there are things that are deemed moral and things that are deemed immoral. So how do we set that? Like how are we able to go about that and we can't say what's appropriate and what's
Now
inappropriate?
that's where it's difficult
Okay.
because I would say like for Zambia, right? For Zambia, we are in such a melting pot of so many different traditions, cultures, even religions. There are certain things that people believe is right and they're so convinced that this is their way. You know what I'm saying? There can be no other way. And then now you have let's say you understand what goes into thinking,
Yeah.
right? What goes into thought, and you actually take your time with how you respond to things.
Yeah.
And you find that the current culture is so obstinate in what they believe that they are reactant to everything.
Okay, so before let's narrow it down because I feel like when I
So
say
you see
what's,
that we'll start shooting.
Yeah. So when I say what's appropriate
don't
and
shoot in the
inappropriate.
dark.
Okay, so let me just give like a random like right now like we're in a culture that's like very tech savvy. Social media has gotten us like it's a whole nother level to our communication.
We're more connected than
Than we were before.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or more exposed to information than ever before.
Yeah.
There's that too.
More exposed to each other.
Oh.
Ah.
Yeah.
But which in essence is information, right? If I'm
Like-
exposed to you.
Like imagine your father with 5,000 friends.
How would they do?
My old man only joined social media
So,
recently. So
what
that's
I'm saying is,
very
imagine
personal
when
right
I
now.
say imagine your father with 5,000 friends.
Yeah.
I'm talking about
Like,
imagine
oh, like
your
literal.
father.
In
Imagine
real
your
life.
father in 1995 with
5,000
5,000.
That's what I'm saying,
friends.
like in the most literal sense, right?
It had to be physical in
It
that
had to,
in that
yeah.
time. So how would you interact with 5,000
friends.
people? Like
5,000
your father.
friends come to your
Eh,
house for lunch.
Yes, exactly. Because that's 1995. That's how it would have to happen.
Post up a joke, fiance via second at the same time.
Like
Yes.
Apope ni padi ude fire ati.
So now
Plan
imagine
at the
how
side.
much noise there
That would
is.
Yeah.
You know,
5,000
a group of 5,000 people. So this is what you get now with social media, that it has created a sea of noise. Like everyone has got something to say
Everyone has
and
an
they have
opinion.
the ability to say it and they say it. So when you look at social media, it is just a sea of what people are saying.
saying.
And they're talking at the same time. So much noise that in these in this sea of talking, there are also situations.
That are happening.
Situations and opinions.
Exactly.
Now trying to control the way you think, and it just leads to a
Exactly.
whole bunch of confusion because
And then-
you are listening to 5,000 people.
Different people at the same
Exactly.
time. At the same time.
same time.
The immediacy of information has made it to such a level where we are so entitled to the time that gratification now becomes a thing of instance.
Yeah.
So self-gratification, of course, is something that has been discussed for maybe even centuries, right?
Yeah.
Maybe people looked at it differently over the course of history and so on and so forth.
Narcissism.
Yes, narcissism and so on and so forth. But now it's gotten to a point where it is literally killing people.
Yeah.
I remember there was this survey that was carried out. I think it's even like a Netflix documentary. Like girls, 12 years of age,
Yeah.
are seeking validation at such a magnanimous and
Yeah.
realistic
And
point.
You know what is very
you know?
interesting is that when you're on social media, right? Let's say you're on Facebook, you will only see things that are within your network and
Exactly.
are at your age.
Yeah.
You would be surprised that there is a whole different dimension, which is
Yeah.
a social media full of kids.
TikTok for kids. And
Yeah.
for kids. That's
Like,
that's
there's
what
a
I'm
whole
gonna say.
social
That's what I'm
media.
gonna say.
For kids.
And it's a network you can never tap into. You will not be allowed.
You can't be
Just
allowed.
the algorithms will not
Not
allow you.
allow
So
you.
you'd think that kids are not really on social media.
They're there.
They're there. They're even kid superstars and what with shine. You come
They're
to
even
followers
doing
and what.
challenges.
How long do I come? 12 years. 8 years.
Yes.
Followership.
Yes.
I would like to speak to my audience today.
Uh.
Show them that, nah.
What opinions have you formed?
I mean,
You'd
there are
be
those
shocked.
there are those
You'd
little
be shocked.
pages
Yeah.
where, like, there are these kids that, give motivational
Oh my gosh.
motivational talks.
About how to make
About
money.
life, about how to make money, how to
I started with just $10 that my father gave me. $10. $10.
About life.
Yes.
Yeah.
What life have you lived up to the age of 12?
Well,
But you see,
if
you realize
if you take time with
realize
these kids,
you realize now that when you look at a country like America, and we're Africans,
of course.
you would see some form of madness taking place. Simply because the pot that they have become is a mixture of old people and young people talking at the same level.
Melting
So
pot, yeah.
there are people without experience that now have the capacity to speak loudly and be heard and have a great following, such that their noise become value with the following.
Exactly.
But what they're spewing out is
It's
childish
nonsense.
things.
It's nonsense, basically.
So now you have the fluidity of everything, which is kind of like over freedom, but it's something that we as Africans cannot really understand currently.
Exactly.
And
We come from very rigid natures.
yes,
Okay, no. Okay, so the internet is vast. We're fluid. We're
Internet is killing people.
we're
Internet
we're
is doing mass shootings.
overexposed. We have too much knowledge.
Flying too close to the sun.
so the
To cut it
question,
short. Yeah.
the question would be, so how do you
Regulate?
navigate
Gate.
a relationship in this world?
Jesus
Pages.
is
Like any
Lord.
relationship or
Like maintain a relationship.
Maintain
Unless
a
I got a
unless-
story.
unless no,
I got a
not
story.
Like
I got
let's
a
give
story.
like the whole.
I got
like,
a story.
Every single relationship.
I got
but
a
like
story.
This,
I got a story. I'm sorry. I got a story. So, as this dude, he a friend of mine. Can't mention who he is. So, he goes on Tinder because he's single. He goes on Tinder because he's single. He's swiping through. Swiping through. He finds that she lit banana. Hey, who you? Hey, give her banana. Bah! He links up. They do the deeds. Her purse just happened to be open. They were very spirited in their
Yes.
activities. I saw Dobarej 16.
oh,
What?
But then again, he was like, okay, but then again, the age of consent in Zambia is 16. So, she gave consent.
no,
I was still
The age
telling
of
bro.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know it is. I was telling bro that this
no, I do not.
And even
You do. Our networks are very small.
I'm very-
So I was just like, bro, it doesn't matter if she's 16 and looks 25. Satmaiche.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, he would be like, no, but the age of consent is 16. And according to the
But
constitution.
Now you must
It's
take
not
it
about the
back
consent.
to what we were talking
It's
It's the
about.
level of
Yeah.
maturity for
What
me.
we were talking about some time back when
And some of these little
someone
girls are
said,
head
how long does it take you
to date potential.
Uh-huh.
to
Potential.
determine that,
Yeah,
this one is a
this
viable
one,
candidate?
yeah.
And we said 2 hours.
Exactly.
This person,
two
this
hours.
person,
You-
this person,
you
you
take
can't
that 2 hours.
tell me,
Yeah,
you
take that
can't
2
tell
hours.
me
He was
that
swiping
could
right.
not determine that you might join in the
2
interaction
hours.
in 2 hours.
Okay.
he was swiping right. That's what I'll say.
He
He
didn't
probably
swipe
took-
right, and then he did it in the bedroom.
Exactly.
You know, they
course,
met,
they
you know,
met.
and they
Yeah.
talked, and so he couldn't determine.
But some of these things that the kids are getting into, I think they got more experience than I do, and I consider
If
myself
you
old,
accept them,
somewhat.
if you accept them that is their nature and behavior currently, it makes it easy for one to say, okay.
And
Yeah.
I think that's the point. he was
Yes,
at.
that's the
Not
point
just
that
but
I'm
he was
afraid of.
thirsty
Yeah,
at the same
yes,
time.
because
he took advantage of
yeah,
this particular
uh-huh.
platform.
Yes,
To get
but he
what you-
didn't know how old she was until after the
and look at
hours.
this, look at this.
Yeah.
that 2 hours.
He
was
said the purse was
So,
opened. It was open, and I just happened to, and then I went in, and then
What
What's he doing in her purse?
when NRC, that I think you went looking for it because you were worried already.
Yeah,
So you wanted to.
Yeah, that's the plot hole.
Yeah.
That's the plot
Yeah.
hole.
From the moment
Yeah,
he met
yeah.
the answer,
Yeah.
He knew that she's
Yeah.
but
Yes.
he wasn't thinking with this head.
Yeah.
So
The body.
what happens is
Body.
it's just like I say, look, I'm already here. And it was a lodge or something. I already pushed some to my stack in there.
Yeah.
Then I should just now you see that's why we say after you nut, Kylie, it's like you come at death and then you resurrect. So clarity comes to the brain. Yeah. So now you're scheming. You're like, ah,
What?
let me check the
Check.
press.
Oh,
Oh, that's what you should have done before.
Oh, exactly.
I think
I can't ask Antoinette
Straight up.
how old she is, but I can ask someone who appears as though they are in their late 40s. Or I can ask someone who I think are under 25.
yeah.
How old they are.
Yeah.
But not someone who is between 25 and 40.
40.
I think
You can tell that I want it yapa, and you just leave it at that. Like, okay, yeah.
Exactly.
But
Absolutely no
for anything that is
question.
extreme, you have to ask because it is in order.
With all of this going on, you have all of these platforms, you're dating on these platforms and whatnot. How do you maintain a relationship with all of this noise happening,
noise.
with all of this exposure happening, right? And when I say relationship, I want to talk about it on like a romantic level, but
Okay.
also on a professional
Yeah.
level.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So like, how do you maintain a relationship? Okay, so I'm a phone call before.
Phone call away.
Yes, I'm a phone call before an email, before a text message. If I have your contact details,
I'd rather call.
I'll first call. Because you also don't want a situation where my email pops up and then you ignore it because you think it's spam, right? So usually, even just with people who are friends or, you know, if your contact details go, you know, phone number, email address, everything else, I will start with your phone number, your email address, and then go to everything else.
Exactly.
And then, you know, you have those people who are like, oh,
Just
you know, that's my number, WhatsApp me. You know what I mean? That's my number.
Is this your
shoot
WhatsApp
me a
number
yes.
also?
And we actually ask that now.
I
you know what I mean?
get that a lot.
Is
yeah.
this your
Is this
your
your WhatsApp
line?
number as well?
So like what's
What you wanna have?
what's the we've got people sliding in DMs. We have, you know, we've got people Zoom calls now for, you know, polyamorous
Oh,
situationships.
Jesus
So you
Lord.
have, you know, you've got these Zoom calls, you've got
We
your
out there
WhatsApp calls, you've got your
playing
FaceTime,
daddy
you've got all of this going on. What are your like
How do you survive?
how do you maintain these relationships?
What do you mean by maintain? Catch up?
So
Or,
let's
regulate.
Let's put it into perspective this
Yeah.
way. Let's maybe talk of a romantic relationship, right?
Yes.
You've got a girlfriend, you've got a boyfriend, you've got a husband, you've got a wife.
And so,
How do you deal with the fact that your wife knows so many people and she interacts with so many people? And how does she deal with the fact that, you know, you also know so many people and you obviously talk to so many
And
people?
then chooses to just focus on,
And
in inverted commas, focus on you.
and you have different kinds of people in all of these bubbles.
yeah.
You know, you will have people that want you, you will have people that hate you, you have people that like you, you have family, you have a whole bunch
Like,
of
of
mix.
mix.
Monitoring spirits.
And therefore,
Nama spiritual wives, mama.
and therefore she has to worry about how you are playing virtually.
Actually,
And he also has to worry how you're playing virtually. Because at the very same time, we talk about a lot of things and there are a lot of stories that we are reading about.
yeah.
So, for example, someone was having a conversation with me and they were saying, why has so much, why has there been so much promiscuity in today's times? Because you get to hear so much about it on social media.
Yeah.
And I said,
Yeah.
that's
You hear about it
precisely
quicker.
the
Yeah,
reason
why?
why you're thinking that there is so much promiscuity. Because
Yeah.
what
Yeah,
there is
yeah,
today
yeah.
is exposure.
Exactly.
We
These
still
things were
were
there.
Yeah,
promiscuous,
promiscuous
but
before.
there was just no network to spread it.
Yeah.
But back in the day, ichpanda chale ishiba.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly, yeah.
Because there was so much gossip. We've always needed
It's always-
It was
Yeah,
always,
it's
it was
always
always
there.
there in community.
You must know what your neighbors are
Munga
eating
ndapi.
tonight. You have to know. You have to know. You come up, you smell. That's information that you're looking for, so that you can ascertain your
How
neighbor.
you also exactly.
Yeah, so now that has just gone onto
A virtual
tool,
platform.
a virtual
Um,
platform.
yeah.
It's made it.
So you're playing constantly.
Yeah, so it's
Exactly.
not,
You're
so it's not
the-
only
the
quicker, you
immediacy
have
of
the
standard.
immediacy of standards.
It's immediate, right?
Yeah.
On top of it being immediate, it's vast, right? So, like you were saying, back in the day, nangolefika panganda, ngolefu abaneba beshi bati lero mala liro wankoko. Kishina okeme no keme. Palo lefika pama ne bati kusaka lopola mono. Kalida, wayo. Ya.
Lero njena kalukuluku.
Unefika mpeke. Yeah. Kapona, imanga kwani kokeka. Yeah, iko You want them to know, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
These days, it's as simple as.
Hey guys.
And how many
One
people?
Nderia. Bala tamba, we like to watch just in case we find that if kaide monika winuzane. Kuwirio kwa chip. Chicken and chips zone, yeah, we want to
opinion.
involve ourselves.
Yeah.
And the strange thing is, you get to hear all of this. So what you do is you go back to your post and you look back at the people that have seen your post, and then you look at each one of them and say,
Exactly.
"We are fashion."
Exactly.
Why Lonesha picture?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
we now
okay.
and
You
we're
start-
so
you start
busy with
determining-
that. You know what
you
I
start
mean? eh?
determining how
and
people
this is
feel.
what I did some
Exactly.
time back. I noticed that on Facebook, when I would post a picture or say something, have an opinion,
Yeah.
I then will become so busy the entire day,
Checking.
just going back.
Checking.
And I got so tired of that I just completely stopped.
Yeah.
Because at the very same time, the kind of battles that you start to fight on social media just turn you into an angry person for no reason.
Exactly. Hey, Twitter. Hey.
Ooh.
Z Twitter.
Z Twitter.
Let's talk about twelebs, guys. Let's talk about
No, but
twelebs
and that's fact.
and the toxicity of twelebrity.
Why do we
Yeah,
want
focus
to
on-
dive ourselves into
And
very
this is
negative
the and this
spaces?
is the thing. Like
Like,
we
how do you
literally-
want to shape your thinking, and
thinking,
your peace
exactly.
of mind?
Why are you
You know?
why are you inviting yourself
FOMO.
to the
FOMO.
party that you're not invited to? You know what I mean?
FOMO. I think it's FOMO. Fear of missing out.
Yeah.
Some people just want to be included, even if it,
You-
it
you-
totally disagrees with their ethos.
Yeah.
They just want to be included. They just want to be there. Na ifufune puturi.
That's a whole nother problematicness.
And then you also start adding to the algorithm by posting certain pictures, by saying things a certain way, and then now you start looking into associating
all
with the people that get
narcissists?
exactly.
That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking
The people
about.
who
Yeah.
get their
There's
attention,
something,
you start.
there's something in our nature
Yeah, we're
that
narcissists.
You know what I mean? Look, no matter how much
Praise
a lot
of
people are
self.
like, no, I'm an introvert. I just like being indoors. The more
I
I
want
want
to be
to be social.
identified as an introvert.
Exactly.
So that
And find other
Yeah,
introverts.
introverts.
So that we are together.
We are
You know?
in-
Yeah. And you want other people to know
Yes.
that you
That
are the
you're
people that
together.
don't like to socialize.
Right.
There's a difference
Exactly.
between
You know?
who you are and who you want to be identified as.
Or
You know what I
identified
mean?
with.
Those are two different people, right? It's similar to how You're not in love with me, you're in love with the idea
Yeah,
of
of
me.
me.
to, you know what I mean?
Wadishwa what who a narcissist is. Nina
Narcissist ni ujua itemwa boy.
kuitema mumusangonji.
Kuitemwa to the point where,
It is toxic.
yes, in a,
Oh, okay, sorry. That's skin.
yes,
That's skin.
there's kwani boku itemwa.
Uh-huh.
No one here hates
Themselves.
like that, you know. And it's
Ah,
actually
donuts.
muna throw my personal things na mishikani, but I would like to think that judging by the way each and everybody here is representing themselves, you know what I mean, with their body, with their bones,
That's why
now
I'm falling
sakuramo,
extra large.
now for Kokashan, we all look like to a certain degree we care about ourselves,
Yeah.
right? So twaliite mwachira muntu apa aliite
Then chiwacha. Okay.
number
Narcissism.
ni kuli okuitema okwakutira ati, for example nangwa papene, right, we're having a conversation, you can tell that, oh, Jesse aliitemwa, but he will let Moto say something, he will let Moto have an opinion. Narcissists love their own voice. So narcissism is that level of ukuitemwa where nothing else.
It's an extreme.
Yes, it's an extreme.
Liking
There's nothing
yourself.
else
Over.
like it, and I like
Yeah.
the word he brought out. It's a
It's
toxic.
toxic.
It's loving or liking yourself, but on a toxic level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel for narcissists, there's this thing I'll never forget. At how do you kill a narcissist? Put a mirror at the bottom of a pool, just so that they can
You
do
can
it.
see
You know what I
themselves,
mean, right?
yeah.
Exactly, to that level. Nothing else matters.
Nomberi pusho lakwe okuti. Nibanga abantu baba narcissistic.
Your question, you guys mind that Ibanga.
Eh.
Lepo kupenda nango.
Ndefo ya kumfa inclusion.
Okay, so I think what Moto is driving at is that we're all a little narcissistic. Unless if
So
the
batira
fact that we are on some form of social platform, doesn't that mean that each and every one of us is a little bit narcissistic?
Oh.
Because when you post your opinion or your picture and you're waiting on people to like it, or you're waiting on people to agree,
You
or
check the
disagree
numbers.
with you, you're checking the numbers because you feel like your opinion
Matters.
matters.
And that's why I wanted to drive back to the point about art.
Yeah.
Right? Why? Because an artist today can be painting the Mona Lisa, and the other day they can be painting an image of themselves. It's easy for me to say this artist is narcissistic if I
With
see them
with
painting
this
an image of themselves.
selves.
But what if they painted an image of the Mona Lisa?
It could be that even the one that painted the image of the Mona Lisa is simply because they wanted to show how beautiful they are by expressing it through their hands.
Our romantic channel of communication, like if you're getting to know somebody, is it calls, is it texts, is it emails? So I just want the 3 channels. So I want your romantic channel, your casual channel, and also your professional channels of comms.
Oh, okay, because you know there's SMS, there's WhatsApp, you know there's Instagram, there's Messenger.
Yeah.
I think with a scenario it will
Yeah.
work best, right? You meet someone for the first time, right? You exchange phone numbers, right?
Am I meeting you in a
Helter Skelter at
professional
the shelter.
capacity, in a romantic capacity,
Okay.
or in a,
Let's
or
put
in
it
a
in a
like
social
Is it ever
social
really
setting?
romantic
Okay,
for
cool.
first time?
Social setting, you're at a house party,
Yeah.
you meet someone that you know you're interested in, you check out the conversation and it actually makes sense. You're like, you know what? I think I want to, you know,
Keep
continue.
having
Yeah, I want to keep talking
more,
to this
more,
person.
more 2 hours with you.
My thinking is like, the first thing is,
Really happened they tontong kanya bad.
letting
you know.
I would like to
You
think
go
that
next.
when you exchange phone numbers,
Yeah.
the first reason why you're
Appreciate it,
exchanging is so that
appreciate it.
tomorrow first thing you,
Cool.
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Stay week.
well, I mean you talk the night before. I don't know.
If he gets your number today,
Yeah.
and we've had Dekama
that
maybe
game had changed.
3 sessions of
Get me at the
3 sessions of 2-hour conversations, right?
I'm around here, that way, I had yash. I'm thinking I wouldn't ask for is this your WhatsApp? Mamfaka,
Now I'm paying a number in the
Number, the following day, still getting none.
Watch my message and watch poster. At here from now on, going forward. Yes. Wakulanchita for SMS no kuntu mina kairi. Shani currency.
You think that your availability is the currency only you possess.
Basically, that's what she was trying to say.
But
you know me, data, when I need to focus, you know, I have to switch off. And the world doesn't do that. So when you are special.
You can't afford to have your data.
No.
If your data is off,
but you see, you were both rude to each other.
yeah.
You were both rude to each other. Because in your head, you knew exactly that by saying this, suggesting that, I don't know how you manage in life without having a moment to focus. So that's how it was received.
Yeah.
That what kind of an insult is that? That you think differently than me, and in fact at a higher level.
Synopsis.
Now we don't Let's start a message. So what the land that?
I'm the one with nothing to do.
The interesting thing is, if I send you a message and it's a friendly message, I don't mind if you take 3 hours
To respond.
4 hours to respond, because it simply means that you are quite busy. That's a very interesting person. They will respond to me in their own time, and when they do, I will not complain. I will carry on the conversation because that's their time. Yes. I have respected the fact that they were probably very busy. Not just busy one way. They could have been mentally busy. They were not ready for me. Yes. So they did see my message, but they were not ready. And they let it be. So I should be able to respect that. Yes. And say,
I like that.
Yes. I like that. I've never actually thought about it like that. But I'm the kind of person to call you once. Like if I need to get a hold of you, I will call you once. And then when you don't
follow up with a message.
Yes. So I'll call you once. I'll wait. Sometimes I even wait a day, right? Before I attempt to call you again. If you don't return my call, I'll wait even up to a day, depending on the urgency, obviously, right? And then I will follow with another call. When that one is not picked up, I will follow with a message, a direct message at that.
I now figure somehow why we lie. Because we are under pressure.
To maintain an image.
Imagine how many people you are not ready to respond to in a day. But you are compelled to. And you have to. But it's not the case. It's not the case yet. It's not the case yet. But you have to. So you are now put in a position where you have got to lie.
The lie will make more sense than
the truth.
Because you are pressured to immediately act when you are not ready.
Bamwikata kuba kashi bafika panga ndo kusasanga nasenda bra nafuara kumutwe so mwamvaka so nombaba isazumye. And this bra nishi pali bra ya new tabai monapo. He bought it, but when he got it atsambokola changasha chi bra afuara kwati nchilunshi filiale bamwikata bakashi ngai bra nombaba shimwana I'm cheating on you.
You know, as stupid as it sounds, it is the case.
Are you serious?
Yes, it is the case a lot of times.
Shimwana, mwachiranga shabra kumutwe. Mrefu wala kwa chinchiru. Mshafile pangana sense. And that's why it has to be the most stupid. You know what I mean, right? It's I would say the same thing.
It's like going to meet a girl at the lodge in a room. Meeting.
In a room,
because Imbiana start decorative bedrooms. So that's where you meet. Everybody's up, son.
Nothing's going on.
This is my interior decor.
Definitely paint those walls.
This is the interior design I'm trying to get her to fix my house.
It's interesting
We're
how
beating the walls,
we trade all the time. Because as weird as that sounds, there have been us who have made decisions that are slightly closer to that.
Yeah.
Because there's a chance opportunity.
I like that
But you
word.
see, it goes both ways.
Opportunity.
Because also for someone to accept to meet you that way, it's kind of also like saying a bit of a, that's
It's kama innuendo.
like,
I read between
so
the
once
lines.
say we are treating dangerously,
That's water.
Thin ice.
but that's how we constantly just, play. We like always are testing each other.
Yeah, exactly.